America, we are back, baby. Welcome to Friday's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. We're going to do a more casual stream. We're going to start doing casual Fridays over here. I'm not going to dress up in the suit for Fridays. We're just going to have a fun show today. We're going to be showing a couple clips, reacting to one of Sneako's new videos, which I thought was very funny. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've just seen clips of it. We're going to be reacting to that today. I'll also be just showing you guys some things that found were funny on X, stuff like that. Like I said, a casual show. We'll be responding to comments at the end of the show as well, so please remember to smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Also, remember to rate the show 5 stars on Spotify, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Really appreciate it if you do. I do want to bring you guys just right into our show. Like I said, we're going to have a fun, casual show today. Our first thing I wanted to talk about had to do with Israel, of course. But this is something that I've been saying on this show, that Bibi Netanyahu is basically just using and abusing Donald Trump and the United States. And every time I say it, I get a little bit of pushback from the Zionists. But now it is coming right out of Bibi's mouth. So Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, multiple times have now stated that they will not allow Israel to annex Gaza. It would be the definition of ethnic cleansing. I know that would be Ben Shapiro's favorite thing to ever happen. He literally wrote an entire article about how he wants to ethnically cleanse the area and how it would be good for the world if it happened. It's fucking crazy that he even put that in writing. But we have people within the Israel lobby and Israel itself who do want to ethnically cleanse Gaza. And we have a president who is standing up against it, which is something that is very great. I don't know if Donald Trump would have always stood against it if Bibi didn't push things as far as he did. We all know Israel loves to, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile. Basically, Bibi was running around Israel in the Middle East saying that he owned Donald Trump, that he owned United States politics. And that's very true. He does. He has a stronghold on us. Right now, people in our government are absurdly loyal to a foreign nation over America. They put Israel's interests over America's interests. Right now, we have multiple generations, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, struggling day in and day out to pay bills, student loan debt, and our country, our national debt. It just hit $38 trillion and growing. But for some reason, our government will not stop supporting a foreign nation the size of New Jersey. They won't stop sending them money, funding their wars, supporting them in all their wars, and every terrorist act they want to commit. And after J.D. Vance flew all the way to Israel to oversee that the peace deal was actually happening, which was the United States way of putting a little bit of pressure on them, bring a high-ranking United States government official over to Israel, shows that we mean business, that we're not going to allow them to annex the Gaza Strip, that they have to continue this peace plan. While he's there, we talked about this the other day, the Knesset, which is Israel's government, held a vote to annex the Gaza Strip. They said that this was completely symbolic, that this was not a real vote, but that, do we just hold fake votes in the House and Senate? No, we don't, and I doubt they do over there as well. So it seems very clear that they are working not only against America's interests, but they are working against the interests of the people that they call their friends. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Bibi has said that Donald is the best friend that Israel has ever had in the White House, yet he continuously disrespects him. And then there's this video right here that I'm about to show you guys where Bibi Netanyahu, in the beginning, you might say, oh, what he's saying sounds fine. It sounds like he actually didn't support the vote. But then I want you guys to hear what he says at the end, because it's very troubling, and it's something that I've been saying on this show that the Zionists deny. They're not even reporting on this clip, but we're going to report on it here. This is something I found very interesting, and for my audio-only group who listens to this audio-only, I'm sorry, most of this is in, Israeli or whatever their fucking language is, Yiddish or whatever, I don't know. But there is captions for all the viewers. So I'm going to, we're going to be playing the audio, but there is captions. So if you're audio only, you might not understand this. But I'll tell you what he says at the end. I don't want to spoil it for the people who are going to be watching the video with me. We're going to go right into it right now. It's just a quick 1-minute clip. Wait, here we go.
נשיא טראמפ אמר מוקדם יותר בראיון לטיים, ישראל לא תספח את הגדה המערבית. כי אני נתתי את מילתי למדינות ערב. הוא אמר אם נעשה את זה, נאבד את התמיכה האמריקאית. האם האמריקאים מכתיבים עכשיו מדיניות לישראל? מה תגובתך?
זה הרי תמיד תגידו, זה לא משנה. אני מאוד מאוד מעריך את התמיכה של הנשיא טראמפ. גם במהלכי המלחמה, גם בהחלטה שלי להיכנס לעיר עזה, גם בגיוס שלו של העולם הערבי כדי להוציא את החטופים שלנו בלחץ צבאי שלנו, בלחץ מדיני שלו, והבאנו את 20 החטופים החיים, דבר שאף אחד לא האמין שיהיה. ועכשיו במאמץ שאנחנו עושים, כולל בשיחה הערב עם מרקו רוביו, וקודם לכן עם סגן הנשיא ואנס, כדי לקדם את היעדים של פירוז עזה ופירוק החמאס מנשקו ועוד דברים חשובים לנו. אז זה מה שחשוב. אני חושב שמה שאתה רואה של שיתוף הפעולה בינינו, בין שותפים, זה, אני חושב, ברכה עצומה למדינת ישראל. אנחנו מדינה עצמאית.
See that right there. For all the audio-only people, I'm sorry if you didn't understand what he's saying. I can't understand the heebie-jeebie gibberish anyway. But there are captions for us. And those captions at the very end, what they say is, Israel is an independent state. They're asking him about the decision in the Knesset to hold a vote while J.D. Vance is in town to annex the Gaza Strip, like I just spoke about before. And they talk about how Donald Trump specifically said that Israel would lose all United States support if they continued and tried to do that. And Bibi Netanyahu gives a, 45-second speech where he says, Donald Trump is an ally to Israel. He's a blessing to Israel. What the United States has done for us is amazing. But then at the very end, he ends it with, Israel is an independent nation. First of all, I'm going to debunk that claim. What independent nation is so financially dependent on another? What independent nation can't hold a war all by themselves without the help of another country? We finance their wars. We help. It's not even we just finance their wars. We push the regime changes for them. Bibi Netanyahu came and testified in front of the Senate in 2002 and said that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction, and we have to go in there. And it led to the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans, and there was no weapons of mass destructions. They probably knew that, but what they were doing is they were pushing these regime change wars on behalf of Israel, and American soldiers are the ones who died doing this. So they are not an independent nation. Independent nations don't need $3.8 billion a year. Independent nations don't have to lobby another country's government to even have support. Because if Israel did not have the United States support, they would get their shit pushed in. They are a country that is hated by the majority of the world. The majority of the world does not like the actions of Israel. And it's because when Israel formed their country in 1947, they immediately went to war with every single country around them. Their army was founded of 3 different groups, 2 of which were marked as former terrorist organizations. Ian Carroll did a great breakdown on this as well. So Israel is definitely not an independent nation, but him saying we are an independent nation at the end of talking about the Knesset's vote on annexing the Gaza Strip in context of speaking about Donald Trump saying they can't do that just shows that Israel is they're not following the United States rules. They have their own playbook that they are following. They are, going to do this very slowly. They are going to do it gradually, and they're going to try and do it in a way where they won't lose the United States support because, like I said, they could possibly get by without the $3.8 billion a year. They are actually a very wealthy nation, but what they can't get by without is our security. We are their bodyguard, essentially. I've made this analogy before, but I like it a lot, so I'm going to make it again. We are the big black bodyguard that Jack Doherty walks around with. Jack Doherty, the little streamer asshole who just wants to fucking bump into people in the mall, act like a complete and utter douchebag. Fuck that kid. And then he presses people. He'll get right in their faces and be like, what are you going to do about it? As his 6'8", fucking 450-pound black bodyguard stands behind him and backs him up. We are essentially just that big black bodyguard. Israel can do whatever the fuck they want around the world. They can instigate wars, instigate fights. They can pick fights with whoever they want because they know that the United States will back them. They had assurances of this because they had blackmailed all our politicians, and they did that through financing Jeffrey Epstein. We know this because of the clear ties from Ehud Barak to Jeffrey Epstein, the over 100,000 leaked emails from Ehud Barak. And we still haven't got answers on that either. We still do not have answers on the massive pedophile ring that was essentially running the world for a period of time. But yeah, so Israel does not seem to be following the United States orders at all, or at least if they temporarily are following the orders, it doesn't seem like that is their overall plan. Them saying we're an independent nation. No, you're not. You are the furthest thing from an independent nation. An independent nation doesn't rely on another country's support to even exist. If you were an independent nation, you would not have to lobby and rape all our politicians to get your way. You wouldn't have organizations like APEC who refuse to register under FARA. So I thought that was an interesting thing that he said that today. I'm going to show you guys a couple other clips I have before we go into this Sneeko reaction. Let's see what I have here for you guys. This I saw today. I'm just going to go through. I don't have all the tabs open. I'm just going to go through my favorites on X. That's where I save most of the things. But Apple banned the man doxing app T for violating content moderation and privacy rules after complaints that minors' personal information was being posted. The T app is fucking crazy. It was a bunch of fat-ass tortas, a bunch of, big ugly bitches, a bunch of really miserable fucking assholes who were going on there to bitch about men, men who they didn't like. If they had a grievance with the man, they would go on, create a profile for him, post about how negative this man was, and then other women would tag along. And it got to the point where it was libelous. Men were having lies spread about them. There were men who hadn't even been in relationships, but it just ghosted a woman or something like that. And they get put on the app and they say oh, this person was guilty of sexual assault, for an example. They would say terrible, grotesque things about these people that were utterly untrue. So I'm very glad this app is being taken off the App Store because it is fucking disgusting. It's crazy that a bunch of fat-ass tortas thought this was a fun idea. And I remember when 4chan hacked them and leaked all their pictures. I mean, they were the ugliest bitches I've ever seen. The bitches on T were fucking disgusting. You had to take a photo verification, and they were all fucking ugly. I saw someone posted this. They said, who voted for this? Imagine losing your job because you can't speak good English. That's what's happening to truckers during random DOT inspections. They're being pulled over, forced to read, write, and speak English on the spot. And if they fail, they're fined, shut down, fired. Doesn't matter how long you've been driving. If you fail the English test, you're done. Guess what? Good. Get them the fuck out of my country. If you are in America and you refuse to learn English, get the fuck out. This is a country where we speak English. That is the language of our nation. And beyond that, you definitely should not be on the road. You should not be allowed to drive if you cannot speak English well. If you're not proficient in English, get the fuck out of my country and never fucking step foot in a motor vehicle because it is just dangerous. The amount of people who die at the hands of illegal immigrants who can't even read a fucking U-turn sign, it's really scary. We just had multiple more deaths happen in California. We had some in Florida. This has been an ongoing issue ever since Joe Biden allowed all these, tens of millions of illegal immigrants to pour over our border, absolutely invading our nation. And then states like California say they're going to issue CDLs to all these illegal immigrant drivers who want to be drivers because California, they love to suck the dick of illegals. I mean, the state is practically it's a hideout for them. They do everything they can to protect crime and illegal aliens in California. There are streets in San Francisco that are unwalkable because people are bent over on fentanyl. There's places in LA that you just do not go because it is so fucking dangerous, disgusting, ridden with illegal immigrants, rapists, murderers, homeless people, drug addicts, some of the worst people in our country. And California is one of the only states as well that is trying to make pedophiles legal. They literally have people who call them minor attracted persons instead of pedophiles because they say pedophiles is an offensive term and they say it's just another gender identity or another sexual identity. No, you're just a dirty, disgusting pedophile. I am for when we get into the Sneeko video, it's called Do White Lives Matter, and he interviews people, and he asks them, do white lives matter? And I want to preface saying all lives matter, especially I think white lives definitely matter. People devalue what white lives are, but the only lives, in my opinion, that do not matter are pedophiles. They are irredeemable. They are the worst people to ever walk. And I don't think we personally should be violent to them because that is illegal. I think the law should handle it and they should put these people to death because they are uncurable. They are unredeemable. But yeah, we have pedophiles in California who have the government on their side now. And it's not the whole government, but it is woke liberal trash within the government who wants to call pedophiles minor attracted people. But in my eyes, those are the only lives that do not matter, is the lives of the pedophiles. They are dirty, disgusting people who actually deserve the worst kind of punishments. I do want to go on. We have one or two things more I'll show you in my favorited stuff. This we talked about yesterday, but China and Russia have reportedly sent women to seduce U.S. tech executives in efforts to extract sensitive information. So if you work in tech in the United States, if you are an executive at a high-level company, and this is where we all got to be blatantly honest with ourselves. If you look like Kash Patel, and I'm not even just saying if you're a fucking Indian, but if you look like if you're ugly, if you're a sub 7.5, and anything above an 8 is trying to get with you, that's a honeypot. That is fake. That is a spy. Push that bitch to not physically. Push that bitch to the curb though. You guys get what I'm saying. Do not trust that. I don't know if any of my listeners are tech executives or people who rank high in their companies, but just in case you are, you guys got to be pretty careful. And then this is kind of the last thing I wanted to show you guys. Maybe I'll play one of those Nick clips. But this is one of the last things I wanted to show you guys. So we talked about the other day about the incident where somebody on the far right, somebody was tweeting at Laura Loomer, tweeting at Josh Hammer, Seth Dillon, a bunch of Zionists, people in the Israel lobby within the United States media, saying that they wanted to murder them. And we denounced this completely. We said that this person should be arrested, that people should never be threatening violence. It is one of the reasons I denounce violence on this show. It is terrible. We cannot have more political violence or violence in general. And then the day after, a woman on the right side woke up to a bunch of messages from a Jewish man who said he was going to murder her. He was asking where she lived, saying he wanted to burn her, saying he wanted to kill her, all these terrible, corrupt things. And this person is still on X. They have not been arrested. You know, the person who was threatening Laura Loomer, Seth Dillon, all these people, they were extradited to Florida where they will serve the most severe punishment possible. But this person, a Jew who also in his bio claims to be a sniper, so this Israeli-American Jewish sculptor and sniper is allowed to threaten anybody they want, and they are not being arrested. They are not being targeted by law enforcement. The FBI has been tagged countless times on this person's post, and there has not been one response in the same way the FBI responded to the complaints from Seth Dillon, complaints from Laura Loomer. So it is a complete double standard, and I'm not saying it's okay one way or the other. We have to denounce it both times. But we also need the federal government, the FBI, to take this seriously. This woman's life is being threatened because of her views. I thought this was fucking America. I thought we were allowed to say whatever we want as long as we weren't threatening people. But apparently this woman can't say whatever she wants, and this guy can just threaten her openly, and the government will do nothing about it. The media will ignore it. The media made the biggest deal, Seth Dillon, Laura Loomer, Josh Hammer, they made the biggest deal about their lives being threatened on X, and they have a right to. If your life is genuinely being threatened, you do have a right to make a big deal out of it. But when the same thing is happening from your side threatening another, you have a responsibility and an obligation to report on it, to denounce it, the same way I have done. Again, I don't support Laura Loomer, Josh Hammer, Seth Dillon. I actually find them all to be very despicable, and I don't find them almost to be real Americans. I think they put their loyalty to another country over America, and I think they would actually be better off if they just moved to Israel. But I definitely don't think they should be hurt or dead. And I'm able to denounce the violence, but they are not. They are not able to denounce the violence. What they did is completely ignore it. Her post was trending on X, exposing the person who threatened to kill her. And instead of acknowledging it, instead of a retweet, instead of quote tweeting, instead of responding, no, they completely ignored it. None of them talked about it on their show. None of them actually reported on it at all. So this is a huge double standard we're dealing with that needs to stop immediately. And no violence is ever okay. Let's see if I had anything else. Oh, I do have this Andrew Tate clip I wanted to show. And this I just found interesting. This was Andrew Tate basically saying that, after a certain point, money cannot buy happiness. And I thought this was, an interesting take that we're going to watch.
Take it from me, a billionaire with Paganis and Bugattis and Yescos and penthouses in the sky and homes all around the world and a yacht and a private jet. The second you have everything you want, you're going to want something else. So you might as well get used to enjoying wanting things. In fact, one of the saddest days is when you realize you have everything you want and you lose that one day I hope to have. That's actually a fantastic feeling. That one day I hope to have, if I save up, maybe one day I'll get. The feeling that you have right now, you need to enjoy it. Don't be mad that you don't have what you want. Enjoy that feeling. Because once you have everything you want and you're sitting there with millions and millions and millions of dollars and there's nothing to buy, nothing excites you, you don't go to the mall, you don't want to go shopping, you don't want to look at links on the internet, you don't want to dream, all of it's done. You have everything, it's boring. Once that happens, you miss the days where you'd sit and go, man, if I save up, I can get that BMW. Or man, if I work really hard, I can get a Lamborghini. Or that $2 million watch, wow, that's life-changing for me. Once you have everything, then you sit around with all your money and you think, there's nothing to buy now but power. And that's why the rich people do what they do with politics, because there's not enough items on earth worth buying. So you just try and buy power and buy control over other people. And that's where people's minds get warped. That's where the bad things begin to happen. But if you're at home right now and you have a dream, which is some material item, a car, a house, retiring your mother, a holiday, a boat, whatever it is. If you have a dream, enjoy the dream. Because the second that you have everything you've dreamt of, you're going to want something else. And even worse, once you've completed that cycle enough times, you're not going to want anything at all. And you're going to miss the days that you sat around like you're sitting right now wanting stuff.
There's a few different ways I interpret this. One, I think if you have a great relationship with Christ, you'll never go unhappy. That's one way I interpret it. It is very important to have a strong relationship with Christ. Greed is something that we should all avoid as well. But another thing I thought was interesting was when he said that when you run out of everything to buy, that you start buying power. Because that is what's happening right now. We have people like Larry Ellison, he could buy literally anything he wants in the world, but what is he buying now? He's buying media companies, and he's doing that for power. This is the problems in our nation, that money runs everything. And again, I don't think we're ever going to be able to change that. I wish we could just take lobbying out of the equation, but we can't ignore the obvious that it is there to stay, at least for, the next several decades. It is very, if we can't even get Congress to pass a bill saying insider trading for Congress is illegal, how are we going to get lobbying made illegal if, the lobbyists are working against us and they're the ones with the fucking money? It'll be very hard to do so. If the lobbyists can pay all the politicians to vote the other way, the people don't hold that much power in that equation, in that scenario. So I thought that was an interesting take. And that's one of the reasons I encourage people to become rich, wealthy, to do things that will put them in positions of power. And I'm not just saying positions of power within government. I mean high-ranking officials in your companies, executives, whatever it is to make you wealthy, because the donor class is what runs everything. And we need to ultimately become the donor class if we want to be successful in this nation and in politics, and if we want to get true America First policies. This would be the last thing I'll show. This was a quick Nick clip. I'm not even going to show the whole thing. I just want to show the beginning. I just thought it was crazy that this guy was bitching about it. So this guy is bitching that Nick Fuentes said to somebody to kill themselves in a response to a super chat. And he's like complaining. He's like, I can't understand why someone is, he goes, even though I agree with some of his political takes, I'll never understand why people glorify someone who treats others with such contempt. One, you got to understand, Nick is a very high IQ individual. And when you're higher IQ and you're talking to lower IQ people, or like average IQ people, it's kind of fucking annoying. Like, I deal with this. I don't know if I'm as high IQ as Nick. I do have a higher ranging IQ, but I find a lot of conversations I have with people I call normies to just be mind-numbing and retarded, and it's like, how the fuck are you a person? How do you even get yourself out of bed every day? You're so fucking stupid. And Nick deals with that a lot. So, when Nick crashes out on super chats, I don't blame him half the time, especially because half of them are retarded, and they're people telling him what to do, shit like that. I don't like when people tell me what to do either. It's just male nature. But I just want to show this clip. I thought it was funny, and it's very clear that he's kidding by the way he's laughing as he fucking says it.
Mass. Ben Moran sent $10. Eat an ancestral diet and your stomach issues will go away. Mainly meats and a few of fruits. Tonic before
Holy
exercise.
dude, do you fucking people ever get tired of this? You fucking loser. Eat an ancestral diet. Hey, shut the fuck up and kill yourself, dude. No one has told you this yet, but someone needs to. Shut the fuck up and kill yourself, dude.
On a daily basis, I want to say that to so many fucking people. That thought goes through my mind so many times. Just shut the fuck up and die. Like, fuck off. You're so retarded. Like, on a daily basis, that goes through my head 50 fucking times a day when I have conversations. That's been all this stuff I wanted to show you on X. Like I said, we're just going to have a casual show today. I do want to show you guys one more quick thing. Not on X, but one more quick thing I noticed on the internet today that I found funny before we get into this Sneeko reaction video. But this is funny. I'm going to bring you guys over to Google for a second. If you Google, is we getting? So look at this. Is we getting food stamps this month? Is we getting a stimulus check? Is we getting extra food stamps? Is we getting reparations? Who talks like... I want you guys to think about what race says, like, is we? It's all the black people complaining that they're going to lose their food stamps. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny that, like, when you type in is we getting, it's like these people don't even know how to talk, and it's not all of them, but it's like such a majority of them that when you say is we getting on Google, you actually get results like that. Like, these are the most common searches. Come on, guy. Like, it's funny. It's funny. Yeah. Certain people in this country just need to learn better English. Some of you are so fucking stupid and illiterate. It's actually crazy. Let me X out of these tabs. We're going to go right into this Sneeko video now, though. Hope you guys have enjoyed so far. Please remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the show. Rate the show 5 stars on Spotify as well. I'll be reading comments at the end of the day. We're going to go right into this Sneeko video. It's about 21 minutes. I don't know if I'll probably pause a couple. I haven't watched the full thing, so maybe I'll pause a few times if I want to react to something. Try not to talk over it. I've only seen a couple clips of this on X. I mean, it's a very new video.
Do white lives matter?
White lives? It's a bit of a tricky question. No, not in the slightest.
Yes, they tried to censor the truth.
No. Why not?
Black Lives Matter.
I really don't give a fuck about white lives.
We're gonna get really political. I don't want to go there.
All lives matter. It's just no.
All lives matter for y'all. I'm glad that brother put that out there because he started a whole bunch of conversation.
Man, you're hard to talk to
Really, why?
because you're making me think that all my answers are wrong.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion.
Is the minute almost up?
Why'd you go, oh my God, when he said all?
That's the most woman answer ever. You're hard to talk to because you're making me think. Like, bitch, what? Use your brain, you fucking retard. This is what I'm talking about. The average person is just so fucking retarded, and it's like, if you have a slightly above average IQ, you get it. Like, if your IQ is like, I don't know, what's the average in America? Like 100? If you have like a 125 IQ and you ever talk to like an average, 100 IQ person, you realize how fucking stupid some of these people are. And then the average IQ by race, it even get like, I think black people average IQ is like, what, like 85 in America? It's painfully low, actually. So talking to some of these people, it's just like, it's nonsense. It's a headache.
All lives matter.
Cause like before you explained it, it was like kind of Republican.
Isn't it crazy that that's a political statement?
I mean, I guess it's like if I say like no as a white girl, it's like, do I? Yeah, but like,
You're so scared of getting canceled, she can't admit that white lives matter as a white person. This is the self-hating white bullshit that we cannot have. Come on, white people, rise up. Wang F, baby. Wang F.
then I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
Canceling is also like a form of hate speech. I mean, you're kind of like forcing someone to be silent because they disagree with your viewpoints. Even if their viewpoints are wrong, I think people are still entitled to them. They should be able to have like discussion without like being scared of getting canceled.
Cause they're white.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I don't like white people.
Why not?
I just don't.
For no reason?
Yeah, for no reason. Bit of a trick.
Does that mean I could just say I don't like any race for no reason? Is that my go ahead? Is that my go ahead to say? Can I just start naming them? Can I just say it and I just say no reason? I feel that way. Or is this woman just an utterly racist bitch who just hates white people? Guys, you hear it. We have a free pass now.
Tricky questions, to be honest, because I saw the fuss around Kanye West's White Lives Matter, and I absolutely didn't agree with the way he was provoking. So I would say Black Lives Matter.
How do you think he was provoking?
Because as a black man, it was a bit odd. It was weird to do that.
Why?
There are white people who say Black Lives Matter all the time, but if a black guy says White Lives Matter, then it's provoking, it's provocative, it's negative. Like, what a dumb bitch. Self-hating white people are retarded.
Is it odd?
Because it was not what you would expect. It was not really political correct.
I like what Kanye West's dad said. He said it was really funny because it was a black man stating the obvious. White lives matter. There's no reason to get upset about it. It's funny that it's politically incorrect to say that your life matters.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Do you think he's crazy?
I think he's quite crazy, yeah.
Is Ye crazy?
Who?
Kanye.
I love Kanye.
He sold a shirt that said White Lives Matter.
Oh, fuck Kanye.
See, again, that's the dumb woman mindset. It's like, oh, I love Kanye. He sold the White Lives Matter Shisha. Oh, I hate Kanye. Like, bitch.
Is he crazy?
He's crazy.
Why you say that?
Because he's crazy.
Ye is the man.
What has he done that makes you think that he's crazy?
He's just crazy.
We love Ye.
For no reason?
Yeah, for no reason.
Can you define what crazy is?
Kanye.
He's the definition of crazy?
Yep.
Do you think that Kanye West is crazy?
I think he's a very unstable man.
Yeah.
I think he should
I
get
think
some good
he's more of
therapy.
an asshole than
Yeah.
crazy.
She's got a bull ring. She's white as a ghost. She's dressed gothic as shit. And Kanye's crazy to her. Like, bitch, what? How about take the bull ring out first? Before you call someone else crazy.
Crazy, to be honest.
Do you think that Kanye West is crazy?
Absolutely.
Why?
Have you seen the news recently?
Yeah.
He's absolutely crazy. No one should be saying that kind of stuff.
What did he say?
All of the anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's enough. No one should be saying that, and I absolutely do not support him. If you support him and have downloaded any of his albums recently, I'm not a friend anymore.
What's one thing you would say to Ye right now if he was watching? What's one thing you would say to Ye if he was watching this?
Like, I don't know. Fuck you.
That anti-Semitism is not cool.
Oh, I didn't even see. They both had bull rings. They both had them. What a surprise.
I'm fucking up all your best deals.
Calm down. Like, drink some tea.
And get back on your fucking medication, kid.
Meditate.
I love you. I appreciate you. And I wish you well, bro.
I like your songs. Not you.
Try to use your platform to bring people together instead of driving them apart.
You're so widely respected for your art. Trashing that is just really disappointing, I think.
You said what?
I watch you every day.
Sneeko, right?
Who?
Sneeko or something.
Nah, I don't know that guy.
Yeah, it has to be him.
That guy's an asshole. He deserved to get banned.
He did get banned. He's a
dickhead. He'd be talking out his ass.
So what do you stream now, or like what platform do you use?
I don't know. NYPD got a website I could use?
You tell me.
Do y'all think Kanye West is crazy?
Can we even answer that?
Who?
You think Kanye West is crazy?
Like, I think he goes by Yee now, right?
Yeah.
I think he's getting help his knees right now, right? He's on some meds. Get it together, man. Come on, what's going on?
Did you vote for him?
I don't know.
I'll make this very clear. If Ye runs in 2028, I'm going to urge all my viewers, like, I'm not even fucking kidding. If Ye runs in 2028 to oppose JD Vance, we are voting for Ye. And if you're not on board with that, you can tune out of this show. Unless someone better steps in, we're not voting JD Vance over Ye. Ye is the man. Ye is America first.
We can't answer political
stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, officers. Do you think that he's crazy?
A little bit, maybe. I'm not familiar with him, so it's just something comes to the news and I saw it and it's a little bit crazy, yeah.
If you're not that familiar, why do you think he's crazy?
Because sometimes I will look at the news and just get information from the news.
Should we believe everything we see in the news?
Yeah.
I think the only thing I can do is trust news because I have no other information comes from other
Female delusion.
anywhere else.
These people might be able to vote, and they're like, yeah, we can only trust the mainstream media.
So the only thing I can do is just trust.
Good question. Because he's my friend. And I don't know, he's going a little bit crazy on his words lately.
He's your friend?
Yes.
How do you know him?
For 3 days, constantly 3 days, anywhere in Massachusetts.
Was he a nice guy?
Yes, he is.
Was he crazy?
No. Actually, he talked about good things at the time. But I don't know what's happened to him now. Why he changed.
What's one thing that you could tell him if Ye was listening?
If he's listening to me right now, he knows, he told me he wants to build America like Israel. One for all for one. Like kibbutz. If you remember that, remember it. I'm Toby. He knows who I am.
Thank
He
you.
also wants a full separation for Israel. He just wants us to be, like, Israel is an Israel first country. They put themselves over everyone else. And in America, we put everyone else over Americans. They allow migrants to mass pour over our borders, even if they rape our women, steal our jobs, devalue our dollar, kill people in crashes on the road. And we currently fund all the wars around the world. We're involved in everything. We just want to be a more independent nationalist nation. And that's what Ye wants. I don't want anyone to confuse that with him saying that we're still going to be best buddies with Israel. Because no, that won't happen if Ye was ever in power.
Thank you so much.
Can I get a picture?
Well, everybody got a little crazy on them, you know what I mean? So crazy is really everything, because you do crazy stuff every day without realizing it, you know what I mean? So who say what crazy is?
Are you crazy?
Yes, I am crazy.
What makes you crazy?
Well, it made me crazy that I work a lot of hours and things like that, you know what I mean? From 9 in the morning to 12 at night, 6 days, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Because I don't have too much time for myself.
Is that your train?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Have a nice day. He said if you're running alongside a highway in short shorts against traffic, you're crazy. If you do it with 100 people, it's a marathon.
That's a good quote.
You think Kanye West is crazy?
Of course not. He's very woke. I need to tune in.
He's never said anything that made you upset?
No,
What about when he said slavery is a choice?
that's his opinion. I can't be affected by someone else's choice of what they want to say.
Mental slavery is a choice. It is. Mental slavery is a choice. And he was also talking about a lot about the music industry. He wasn't specifically talking about these slaves that were brought into America by a certain group.
You don't get affected by what other people say.
Nope, that's not my business.
Why do you think other people online get so mad about what other people say?
Because they're easily influenced by other people's, and their emotions are controlled by what they gotta say.
Do you think we prioritize feelings over facts online?
Of course, because it just stimulates your serotonin and all that dope.
We finally have a based woman with a bull ring. I didn't know that existed. Maybe she'll say something retarded. We'll see.
Anyway, just by being on social media. So it does that.
How do we fix that?
Stay off of social media, read some books.
Would you wear an All Lives Matter shirt or a White Lives Matter shirt?
Nah, fuck all that. I'm not into all that. I'm not gonna say that, what I was about to say. But
Oh, say it. Come on, be honest. I'm canceled, bro. I want to hear some honesty.
you wanna hear some honesty?
I want to hear it.
I honestly didn't support Black Lives Matter because the money put into that program was usurped and put into other people's pockets. It didn't benefit black people. We all know that.
Was anything accomplished for Black Lives Matter?
Hell no. Just more separation, divide.
You think it was one big scam?
Yes.
Based.
You think Kanye West is crazy? Is Ye crazy?
Hell no, I support Ye. I love Kanye West. Yo, Kanye West, I love you. I love Kanye West. I support Kanye West. I always have all my life.
Why do you think people are calling him crazy?
I think people say he's crazy because they don't want them to hear what he's really saying, which might be influential.
Who do you think created cancel culture?
Big media.
Who owns big media?
Jews.
Well, yeah.
Jews and...
He said it, not me. He said it, not me. What was he about to say here? We're going to go back 5 seconds.
Well, yeah. Jews and gays.
Are you laughing because you know you said something offensive, or you said something that's so truthful that it could get this video deleted?
I laugh because it's the truth. I believe
Spotify, if you're tuning in, this is a reaction stream.
believe it to be the truth. I know it to be the truth. I know it to be the truth.
What is considered hate speech to you?
Nerd. Nah.
Did you know who they are?
Sorry about you guys. You're being recorded, by the way. Do you guys have a permit?
We don't need a permit to film like this. It must be on a tripod.
Well, this is in you have a table set up inside of Transit, which is private property.
We've been filming. I do this for like 2 years now.
Yeah, no, they just came upstairs. The Transit came upstairs. They asked us to move you guys.
Okay. Do blue lives matter?
Blue lives?
I'm not going
Blue lives? Listen, I fucks with. Yes, I do.
Do you think that Trump deserves to be banned off of social media?
I think Trump deserves life in prison for treason or worse. He doesn't deserve anything. No rights at all.
Trump doesn't deserve any rights at all?
No more than that. I think he should be a convicted felon and have those, everything else stripped of him. You don't see convicted felons sitting in giving you an interview.
Kanye West is a very vocal supporter of Trump. Do you think that he's crazy?
I think that Kanye West should be embarrassed for himself. His anti-Semitism is disgusting, and he's a disgusting individual. Should he be banned from social media? If I ran the social media company, he would be banned.
What's one thing you would say to Ye if he was watching this?
I wouldn't talk to the man. He's a disgusting human being. There was an incident in Los Angeles today attributed to him where people were showing banners over the freeway that said Kanye's right and the Jews need to die.
Is that really his fault?
Absolutely, it's his fault. He should
take responsibility for other people misinterpreting his message?
Not misinterpreting. They're repeating his message, very different than misinterpreting. Misinterpretations can be corrected. But repeating his message is very clear. The message, he said that he was going to go DEFCON 3 on Jews. And as a matter of fact, his followers are, making anti-Semitic statements and the Jews should die kind of statement.
He's crazy because he's crazy enough to challenge himself and also crazy enough to challenge every spectrum in this world. I'm from the south side of Chicago. He's from Chicago. And when he first came out, he challenged everyone's perspective to think differently. And right now, I just feel like, yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy intelligent. He's crazy beautiful. He's crazy problematic. He's crazy in so many different ways that we can't even comprehend because we haven't got there in our psyche yet to understand what the hell is going on with him.
So is he crazy or is he a visionary? Is he just 10 years ahead of everybody else?
Both. He's both. He's everything because you're everything because I'm everything. He's just now is challenging everything and everyone's perspective, just like White Lives Matters and Black Lives Matter. We're challenging where our mind is at, where words have power, and if we're going to give it power. And we gave Black Lives Matter power because it matters. And there's a huge demographic of this world for so many years that have been programmed that white lives are more important, their money is important, their value is important, their perspective on all our ecosystems is powerful. And I'm tired of that. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about me. I want to talk about people that look like us, that think like us, because for so many years, us mattering has not been appreciated, has of no value, and we have literally been raped, and we have been taking all our resources, and it's been spread around the world that we can't even figure out who we are.
What's one thing you would say to Ye if he was watching this?
If I was to say Ye, I was like, yo, put it in the music. Put it in the music, speak it in the music. We're gonna buy it, we're gonna feed into it because your power is in music. Just like power was in Mozart, power was in Beethoven, power was in, in Beyonce. You need to put it in the music and just leave it there. You don't need social media. You're an artist. Let your art form seek into every person's soul like it does, and keep it there. If it's good, if it's bad, if it's politics, if it's relationship, if it's love, just put it in your music, because that's how you started and that's how you're gonna end. It's because of your music.
Who created cancel culture?
Everybody created, social media created cancel culture, because everybody that logged.
Who created social media?
A white man. A white man's idea. But I don't know the exact, I know who created it, but at the end, but who made it take it to the next level? You know what I mean? That's really the question. Who is taking it there? You know what I mean? The algorithms that are being shut down, that people are not allowing to be seen, that's who created it. That's what people are afraid of.
Is freedom of speech dead?
No, because there's platforms like this that make it alive.
What if I told you I'm banned on every single social media platform?
I would say you're doing your job. You're doing what you came to do. You came to challenge spaces, and those spaces are afraid of this type of conversations, and that's what we need more of.
It's not even controversy, about conversation. And I think what we need to do is start to think about humanity as a whole, about whether or not we all matter, because the way things are going right now, it seems like nobody's life matters, man. Look at the homeless population, look at the jail population, mental health, we're on a mental health crisis, food crisis, unemployment crisis. The world is in crisis. So the way I look at it, we need to ask, does anybody life matter?
Do you think Kanye West is crazy?
I think the brother, as a clinical social worker, the brother needs to definitely be on medication. I think he definitely is exhibiting symptoms of bipolar disorder, and he needs to be on medication.
What's one thing you could tell Ye right now if he was watching this?
Brother man, get your mental health in order, and then come back and say all the stuff you've been saying.
I wouldn't consider him crazy. I'll just say he's on another level.
What type of level?
Universal level.
Can you explain that a little more?
I mean, it's kind of, it might make me seem crazy, but he's just universally in tune. He knows things that we don't know. He knows things that are beyond the eyes. You know what I'm saying? You know, what you can see is what you think is what it is, but that ain't what it is, you heard? So that's the best way I could put it.
Why do you think they're trying to ban him off everything?
Because he's exposing everything. He's exposing the everything, like, you know what I'm saying? He's exposing everything. You just gotta pay attention to what he's saying, that's it.
What's one thing you would say to Ye right now if he was watching this?
Keep exposing him, homie, don't stop, you heard? You rich, you heard? You're a rich black man, keep it going.
Do you think we still have freedom of speech?
Conceptually we do. Is that it's something that happens in practice? I don't know. You know, I think from what I see on the media, a lot of folks are talking about they're being censored, and if they call out certain things, they live to regret it later on. And so, you know, our freedoms are being challenged today, and the concept of freedom of speech is really being challenged, especially in this age of digital, the rapid fire of how much information is spread around, and the way people have the opportunity, have the ability to edit what they want to edit, like this. This could be whatever.
I can make you look racist if I wanted to.
Ooh, you sure can. You sure can. You sure can. So it's in this whole thing, it's like really being careful about how we use social media, what messaging we put out there, and also just honoring each other's humanity. That's the main thing, I think. We gotta start re-honoring humanity and stop pivoting so much on what comes out of people's mouth. Because a lot of the time, people say a lot of things and they're just talking. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking.
I believe no one deserves to get banned on social media unless you're a rapist, a pedophile, or something of that nature, and that's basically your content, where you promoting child abuse or something like that, like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that if you talking and you expressing how you feel about certain situations, they should cancel you, you know what I'm saying, or have any input on what your content is, especially if you're not doing no rapist shit, you know what I'm saying, or no pedophile shit. You ain't promoting no foul shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't see why they should take it away from you, you heard? Or ban you or none of that. They just know that a person has a grip to the world. People listening to you, people know what's going on with you. You can move the crowd. When they don't like when people have a certain amount of power. And for instance, your power would be your followers. So now we shut down your followers and we shut down, you have no following. So now you just by yourself all over again.
That's where I'm at right now.
You're going to make it through it, though. You're going to be all right.
Thank you. That was a good interview, bro. What would you say to Ye right now if he was watching this?
To who?
To Ye, if he was watching this.
I would say, be careful what you say, because they're going to take it a lot of different ways. And I say I'm behind you. That's what I would say. I would say I'm behind you.
Yep. Who do you think created cancel culture?
I don't know. Who created? I don't know.
Who controls the media?
Good question. Ask Ye.
Who do you think controls the banks?
Ask Ye.
Yo, thanks for coming on.
This guy's got a job. He doesn't want to lose. You could tell. He knows the answer. We all saw that little smile there.
I've been seeing your videos. Of course, Andrew Tate, you know his mulatto ass. I've been seeing his videos. I love it, man. It's good stuff. It's people that, it's conversations that people aren't having, especially just men. They're not having these conversations because of, let's say, cancel culture or like being politically correct. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like what's correct and right by people, not just groups of people, you know, in general. We're at a time where we need to all hold hands or it's all gonna go down the drain and we all fucked. The earth is fucked.
Why do you think they're trying to divide us?
Because it's easier to control people that aren't unified. That's why jobs don't want unions. Starbucks.
Now, I think you're trying to say this is censorship, but I don't believe that's censorship.
You see it as punishment.
I see it as punishment. I'd like it to be punishment.
I think when it's the ex-president, that's a level of censorship because that's an influence. You're thinking about him as a man, Donald Trump as a person, but this is somebody who was the leader of the free world.
Well, I don't believe he was the leader of the free world.
It's a title, but you understand what I'm saying.
Cozying up to Putin the way that he did in Helsinki, cozying up to...
What's wrong with having some diplomacy and decorum with world leaders around the world who have influence in nuclear weapons? Why is that a bad thing? Why are some of these people so painfully retarded?
Kim Jong-il that he did in South Korea, and that makes him, by association...
My point is that singling out and like trying to point it at his ego and saying that he's addicted to Twitter is minimizing the fact that you're seeing it just as punishment when a lot of people probably should hear what the ex-president of the United States has to say. That's what I think.
Okay, you're welcome to your opinion. My opinion is that...
Punishment, not censorship.
My opinion is, you know, put them on an ice floe and set them out in the sea and let them melt and let the whales eat them up. I mean, this man has damaged America.
It's crazy.
You think Trump should be sentenced to death?
Treason is punishable by death.
Some people are fucking crazy. Holy shit. That's been all the stuff I had for you guys today. I thought that was a good video. It was funny. Definitely pretty interesting to see how certain people talk about the subject. It's been a fun casual Friday. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. We talked about Bibi Netanyahu basically saying that Israel is an independent nation, which is either the most delusional thing or most likely what it means is that they are going to go against Donald Trump orders, inevitably breaking this peace deal again. We know they've already done it once, and they break over 80-something% of the peace deals they've ever been a part of. And they will try and ethnically cleanse and annex the Gaza Strip and remove all the Palestinians, the women, children, journalists, and the men who are there as well. They will do everything they can to get them out of there. It is very clear and very apparent. I showed you guys just some fun videos on X. I showed you guys the fun search. If you type, "Is we getting?" That was funny as well. I do want to go over to our comments before we sign off today. We're gonna, let's see, let's get them pulled up here. Give me one moment. Okay, someone said, Patel's girl is 100% a honeypot. She's the one holding the leash. He probably would have did the things he promised without her. I agree with the first part, not necessarily with the second, a little bit. The first part, you say Patel's girl is 100% a honeypot. I gotta say allegedly I agree because she's fucking suing people over it. Like, that's fits into the stereotype though, right? But she's the one holding the leash. Yep, you could see that clearly. And when you say he probably would have did the things he promised without her, possibly, but you also got to think like Pam Bondi is an ultra Zionist. Donald Trump obviously has this crazy strong relationship with Bibi Netanyahu in Israel and the Israel lobby. You know, they paid him hundreds of millions of dollars. And one of the biggest things I think he fucked up, you know, there's multiple things, obviously, but the Epstein files. And I don't think they even existed in America because I think they existed in Israel. They were the ones who financed him. They were the ones who had all the information. And Donald Trump explicitly said any files on Epstein, anything with my name on it removed. So it's like, it's not necessarily just Kash Patel. You know, it's the entire not organization, it's the entire administration right now who is working against the American people with that. I appreciate your comment, appreciate your support of the show, you watching the show, thank you. Let's go to the next one. Someone said, the real Avengers we needed. Oh, that was on the Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, Myron Gaines stream. I appreciate that. Yep, they are modern-day Avengers, basically. They are the voices for our generation in a lot of ways. Someone said, if anyone is still wondering if Israel is our greatest ally, give the good book a whirl, in particular Revelation 3:9, where Jesus states, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Yeah, that is in the book of Revelations. It is very interesting. I just find it crazy whenever, Jewish people in America and in the world say they're the chosen people of God and completely disrespect the religion of America, which is Christianity, and they don't believe that Jesus actually fulfilled the prophecy of the Old Testament. Let me see if I can pull this fucking clip up of this fucking asshole saying this. I'm going to see if I could find this Ben Shapiro clip really quickly. Yeah, see, like, they just don't give a shit about what we actually believe, and they pretend to. They pretend to care for lobbying and for voting, but, like, the second they get into power, second they get what they want, they just stop giving a shit again. And this is one of the moments where Ben Shapiro really showed his true colors. This is on Joe Rogan. Let me pull this up. Come on. What the fuck?
Point of view, where we don't believe in the divinity of Christ. I think that there you can make an argument that the Gospels, which were written,
he was just a prophet, and right?
No. We don't even believe he was a prophet.
What do you think he was? What do you guys think?
What do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble, just like a lot of other Jews at that time who were crucified for trying to lead revolts against the Roman and got killed for their trouble.
So he became legend in story, and
yeah. See, all he thinks of Jesus is that Jesus was a rogue Jew who tried to lead a revolt against them. He doesn't actually give a shit about our beliefs. They don't fucking care at all. And it's not to say some of them don't. I'm sure there are some who do actually respect our religious views and respect that Christianity is the religion that founded America and built America, essentially. But it's very clear people like Ben Shapiro do not give a shit. I appreciate your comment. Appreciate you tuning in. Someone said, love your content. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the ICE ramming issues and no masks orders issued by governors. The masks are necessary, and for people who are like, oh, but it's scary. Shut the fuck up, pussy. Like, these people are facing violent attacks, and it's not just them, it's their family members. You have cartel members putting hits on ICE agents, Tren de Aragua members putting hits on ICE agents, on their families, putting bounties on them. So yes, it's so important to protect their identities. One funny thing I did think about, though, if they did ever make them get rid of the masks, one thing that would, not that people don't already know this and talk about this, but the amount of ICE agents who are just Hispanics, it's a lot of them. Like, a huge percentage of ICE is Hispanic individuals. And I think if they realized that, like, it would blow a lot of liberals' minds, because they all think Hispanics hate Trump. But no, a lot of them really like Trump. A lot of them support the The legal ones generally, don't like the illegals in our country. They just don't. So I think the masks are necessary 100% for their safety. I mean, there's over 1,000% increase on attacks on ICE agents, and the ramming. I honestly think they need to use more force against that. If someone's ramming your car, that's an act of deadly force. Like, they are attempting to kill you in a way. And at least in Florida, the state I live, if someone rams your car intentionally, you are well within your rights to act in self-defense and lethal self-defense. I mean, you are well within your rights to discharge your firearm as long as they're doing it intentionally. Like, if someone, fender bender, if someone T-bones you by accident, that is not a valid reason to engage in self-defense. But if someone is purposely targeting you with intent to take or injure your life, certain states, you have, every right to defend yourself. And I understand why they're, restraining themselves against that. It would... If ICE opened fire on civilians who are trying to stop their cars, it would start massive controversy when we already have so much, and it might delay some of the deportation plans. Not that they're going so smoothly. The deportation numbers are fairly abysmal, actually. The border numbers are great, but the deportation numbers we need like 8,000 more a day than we're getting. We're getting low numbers right now. But yeah, I do think they should be empowered to use more force, whatever that, like, even if the force is like, we get to shoot out the tire of the person who is trying to take us, or if like they got to shoot out the engine block. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe if it's not like direct lethal force against the person, but there needs to be some accountability for the people ramming ICE agents, obviously, but beyond that, the ICE agents need to be empowered to defend themselves, because it's the same thing that happened to police officers. We kind of like neutered police officers in the George Floyd years, and we didn't give them the power to defend themselves, and we saw police officers start dying at higher rates in the line of duty because they were so afraid to use force or use lethal force or discharge their firearm. Anything like that, and it led to people dying, police officers dying who wouldn't have been dying. And when ICE agents start dying at the hands of these violent mobs who are attacking them, it's going to be too late. We need to empower them to be able to defend themselves. But it does need to be done responsibly, but they do need to be able to defend themselves. I appreciate your comment. That's a great comment. Thank you. This guy commented again, not him, but the guy commented one before. He said, Democrats hate us, yes, but the Republicans also piss on us and tell us it's raining on us, the Republicans also piss on us and tell us it's raining too. So there is that. Epstein was a Democrat hoax. Again, I'm not a Republican. I'm an America First patriot. If you're on the right and you're a fan of my show, you're a fan of Nick Fuentes, all these things, and you still consider yourself a Republican, I'm not asking this in a demeaning way. I just mean why? Like, why are you? What has the GOP done for you? Like, I understand aligning with the right, but calling yourself like a literal Republican, like, what have the neocons and what has the GOP done to help your life, especially if you're a millennial, Gen Z, or Gen Alpha? They've kind of fucked us, so... And it's not saying the Democrats are the savior. No, the Democrats are fucking worse. They literally want us dead. But yeah, I do agree. Republicans will literally piss on us and be like, guys, it's raining. Like, that's a good analogy. It's very, very true. And then he goes, he is technically right on the violent side. They will definitely use that against us. However, time is of the essence, so our peaceful activities do need to ramp up in intensity. Good guys win in the end because good men will take action. They decide the intensity of our action based off their moves. It's like chess. Yeah, we can never act violently. I mean, I say that all the time, and I am going to say it again. Never act violently. I denounce all political and all violence in this nation. Anyone who chooses to act violently, just fucking tune out of my show. Never watch it. Never tweet at me. Never interact with me. Honestly, go seek help. Violence is not the answer. And I understand, like, having certain thoughts and feel like we all, after Charlie Kirk got shot, all in our minds instantly, we were like, is this the fucking war? Is this it? But at the same time, I came on my stream, I denounced the violence on both sides, and I said that we need to act peacefully and put our actions and intentions in alignment with the will of Christ. And I think that's an important message. But yeah, you are right. We do need to ramp up our peaceful activities, and I don't necessarily think like organizing in public is always the best move, especially in like a post-Charlie Kirk assassination world where it is open season, where like a lot of these leftists want us dead. They do want us dead. We showed that video yesterday of the Turning Point USA people saying that, watch out for your necks, like, or them saying that to the Turning Point USA people. So yeah, they do want us dead, and we do have to be very careful. But I do think spaces like social media, X specifically, Rumble, the more based ones, even YouTube is starting to allow a little more. Instagram's been pretty based too, but we need to spread our messaging. We need to also do something that I've encouraged people to do, which is you have to write your senators, your congressmen, your House reps, write the president and VP. Let them know your dissatisfaction about either certain policies, relationships with certain countries. Always be respectful, be well-spoken, be kind, because that's how you're going to get through to. Like, if you write a message and you're like, fuck you, you did this, you have a relationship with this country, like, that's not going to get through to anybody. But if you're respectful, if you put your thoughts out there in a, in a well-mannered way, if you're able to be very well spoken, they're going to be more likely to actually interact with that, and that's what we need to do. So I do agree, but it's got to be extremely peaceful. It's got to, we got to have a lot of decorum, and we got to be very careful about that because, again, like, we cannot have people acting violently. It is not only bad optics, but it's terrible for our souls, for the country, for the world. When people die because of their views, no matter what side they're on, when people get injured because of their views, that's awful, and we need to avoid that. So I appreciate your comment. Appreciate you tuning in and commenting a few times there. Thank you. Someone said you think only Catholics get into heaven, bold considering Matthew 23:9, and do not call anyone on earth Father, for you have one Father, and he is in heaven. Also, I've been to Catholic churches multiple times and was denied communion, denied a seat at the Lord's table because I am not a Catholic. All sorts of practices that come from some other places outside of the Bible. Yeah, if you're not confirmed in the if you haven't had a communion in the, like, if you haven't had your baptism, you're not going to be able to get your communion. And if you've been going to churches that aren't Catholic, you can't just expect to walk up and receive the Eucharist. That's not how it works. You do need to get baptized within the Catholic Church. You do need to have your communion within the Catholic Church, and then you can receive your fucking Eucharist. Like, fuck you. Like, that's very entitled of you to just assume that you deserve the body and blood of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, without actually going through a baptism in these things. And yes, the Catholic Church generally does not recognize baptisms outside the Catholic Church. That is not how it works. So I urge you to go back and actually get baptized through the Catholic Church, and saying I was denied a seat at the Lord. No, you weren't. You were just told to actually follow the procedure, most likely. So yeah, I don't sympathize with that. I'm sorry. That's not a great comment, but thanks for tuning in. I urge you to do some self-reflect, and I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm actually trying to be genuine here. I urge you to do some self-reflection on that entitlement, and I urge you to find your way back to the Catholic Church in the correct faith. And that correct faith is willing to follow the order of the Catholic Church. Just expecting the Catholic Church to bend a knee to you just because your church would give you their form of the Eucharist when you're, like, at any point without going through the actual procedure. That's not how it works. Catholics are very organized. We follow procedure, and we have strict rules to it, and I respect that. We have to respect Christ our Lord. We have to respect that Jesus gave the keys to Peter to build the first church and to become the first pope, and that led to the Catholic Church being formed over time. So, yeah, I'm going to urge you to reconsider that, sir. I do want to read another comment. I read this earlier, actually, and it made my fucking day when I read it. This is a usual commenter. They said, "Hello, another great listen as always. When you think you sound pissed or whatever, I honestly don't see it that way. It comes off as very passionate about things that matter." Yeah, I am very passionate about it. Like, I agree there. Like, I say I sound pissed because, like, to people who watch the show, like, you've been watching for a bit, so to people like you who have been watching for a bit and know my personality a bit, like, I get emotional about certain topics. I joke around. I'm silly about stupid things sometimes. And I do get mad at certain things. But to newer people who, like, have never, if it's their first time tuning in and they see me just fucking going off, like, pointing at the fucking camera, yelling about black crime, yelling about whites and Christians being targeted in our own nation, and about the lack of accountability with certain races, religions, etc., that can come off as a little standoffish to some people. So I more say that targeted towards the newer viewers. I know most of the people who are tuning in for, the majority of my shows or every show know my personality by this point, or if you don't, no offense, you're fucking stupid. But you understand it, sweetheart. That's why you're That's why you said that there. I appreciate that. And this is the part that made my day. You said, also this Sunday, I'm planning on going to a Catholic church for the first time. I'm a bit nervous since I've only ever gone to non-Catholic churches, and I'm just not very familiar with it. Do you have any recommendations that could help someone prepare for the transition? First of all, I just want to say that made my day seeing that another one of God's children are finding their way back home. Catholicism is the true way to Christ. It is the, dare I say, the only correct religion. It is. Catholicism is the religion of our world, our land. Catholicism is the path to Christ. So that is amazing. It made my day entirely when you said that. For advice, a lot of the stuff I said to the other guy, actually, that's not bad advice, but it's don't go in with the expectation that, you know, you're going to just receive the, like, it's a procedure. You gotta, if you want to be able to receive the Eucharist, you got to get baptized, you got to have your communion, and then you can, if you want to, like, when the point in the service comes where they give out the bread and wine, if you want to, you know, everyone will get up and they'll walk towards the front of the church where they're handing them out. You won't be able to receive the Eucharist since you're not part of the Catholic Church yet, but what you can do is if you walk up like this, they will bless you, and it's beautiful, and that's something you can do to be a little bit more involved so you're not just sitting there if you don't want, and also you could just sit there. There's no shame in that either. One thing I like to do is I like to show up 10 to 15 minutes early to pray. I think it's important to have a little bit time alone with Christ and with God and to, you know, pray to Mother Mary, pray to Christ, pray to our Lord and Savior. It is very, very important. I'll bring my rosary with me. That's not always, you know, that's unnecessary. A lot of people don't do that. But I like to bring my rosary with me as well because sometimes I'll pray the rosary when I'm there before. Let me think. Don't be shy as well. You know, usually there's going to be a point where they say, like, you know, now look everywhere around you and say peace be with you to everyone. You know, that's your sign to look around you, and like if there's someone next to you, you shake their hand, say peace be with you. You give them a little smile. You look behind you, in front of you, they're going to look back at you. Everyone's going to look at each other, say peace be with you, peace be with you. And it's just a beautiful sign to each other that we all appreciate each other's life and that we're all children of Christ. I want to give a good answer because anyone who's coming back to the church, just know, like, not only does it make me so happy, but it's something where, like, I don't want people to be, like, scared of it. I don't want people to feel like they're forcing it on themselves. So, yeah, take it slowly, but also at the same time, be confident about it. You know, be confident about the fact that you are a child of God and you are very welcome there. But like I said to the other guy, you know, none of us are entitled to the body and blood of Christ without actually going through the procedure to get there. So when the time for the Eucharist comes, like I said, just do this or just remain seated. And when I say do this, again, it's when you walk up, when it's your turn, when you're up there, do this. Maybe even do it on the walk up or as you're, 2 to 3 away in line. It moves very fast. And stay through the closing song. That's also important as well. A lot of people, you'll see, will like start to pour out of the church as the final song starts going and right after the priest walks out. I recommend staying through the closing hymn. I find that to be a beautiful part of the service. And a lot of times they'll even hold like a short little prayer in the church right after. Not always, usually on special occasions, but that's my advice. If you want some more advice, feel free to just send me a DM on any of my social medias. Anyone who wants advice on any of these things, I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the world about everything Catholicism. I don't claim to be, but I am a cradle Catholic. I am someone who's been going to church for a while, and I take my religion seriously. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to message me on Instagram, X, or Telegram. Because I'm not going to have a show over the weekend, so it'll be hard to message. Like, I won't be able to respond on the show over the weekend. But I appreciate you commenting, sweetheart. Thank you. You've been a listener for a while. Someone said, appreciate you giving Nick a platform with your show. Enjoying your takes. Keep it up, man. This is in response to my reaction stream to Nicholas J. Fuentes. Yeah, we got to keep doing everything we can to get Nick's message out there. Nick is the true leader of the America First movement, and he is one of the most knowledgeable people on all these subjects. And Nick Fuentes, I'm a big believer that he will be president of this country one day. So Yeah, I'm right with you there. We got to do everything we can to keep giving him support, keep liking his show. If you don't follow Nick Fuentes on Rumble, go follow him on Rumble. Go like his shows. Watch his streams. Very knowledgeable person. We got one more Spotify comment, and then we will go over to our YouTube stuff. But someone said, Virginia Roberts did not kill herself. Anyone with any knowledge of how the Israeli intelligence agencies operate know what really happened. Yeah, exactly. We all know that she did not kill herself. She literally said, I will not kill myself. I will not kill myself. I will not kill myself, on repeat. And then she got hit by a bus when she didn't die. She said they tried to kill me, and as she was recovering, she continued to say, I will not kill myself. And then just a few weeks later, she killed herself. So we all know she didn't actually kill herself, and that Ehud Barak most likely had something to do with it, or Prince Andrew, or some other intelligence agency like Mossad most likely. I appreciate your comment. That's all the comments we have on Spotify. Let's go over to YouTube, but I appreciate your comment. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's see. Someone said, hey, James, hope you're having a great night, my friend. Enjoyed the Fuentes clip yesterday regarding the Republican text. I'm sick of the Republican apologist, but I can understand where he's coming from. Yeah, I understand why some of these guys apologized, but at the same time, I don't think they should be doing it. I think we have to take a strong stance against cancel culture, especially when your intentions is not to be harmful. Like, if these people were writing in this group chat with the intent to harm people, that would be a different story. The entire thing would be a completely different story. But these people were just 12 young men joking around in a group chat, and yeah, they don't deserve to be demonized for it. I think that's what you're speaking about. If I'm wrong about what you're speaking about, feel free to correct me again in the comments or DM me, whatever. I'm sorry about that, but I think that's what you're talking about. But yeah, again, I understand why they're doing it in some ways, but at the same time, we gotta take a stance against cancel culture. So that's why I say to denounce that. Not denounce it, but that's why I say to not apologize. Let's see. That seems to be all the different comments we had on YouTube. We only had one comment on YouTube. I do so much better on Spotify than I do on any other fucking platform. I don't know why. Spotify's pretty base, though. Spotify's great about a lot of things. But that's been the entire show for the day, folks. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Here, I'm just closing out some tabs, but thank you all for tuning in. It's Friday. It's Casual Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed the day. Enjoy the weekend. Don't drink and drive, but if you do, remember to call your lawyer first. We're going to sign off for the day. I hope you guys do have a blessed day. All the people returning to church this Sunday, just know I'm proud of you. It's amazing to hear. Literally warms my heart. I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys do have a blessed day, and I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you.